gold is the second largest reserve currencies. I think if people were to make those who are running policies and so on were to say, they would say gold is the safest money in this kind of an environment.
Still the safest?
Yeah, it doesn't change by the day. You know, gold is up about 65% from a year ago and down about 16% from its high. And I think people make the mistake of thinking, is it going to go up and down and should I buy it? And instead, whether it's individuals, but even more importantly, perhaps central banks or governments or sovereign wealth funds should say, what percentage of my financial assets, what percentage of my portfolio should I have in gold? And think about that percentage. And then if the price goes up and down, if it goes up too much, you sell out to get back to that number, it goes down too much, but to keep a certain percentage, because it's a very effective diversifier to other parts of the portfolio. I think that it's best to say, if you didn't know what markets were going to do, what should my allocation be to different markets? And because gold is a diversifier, in other words, when the bad times come along, it does uniquely well, and when the good times are prosperous, it less so. It's an effective diversifier. So I would say that perspective. I'd say the most important thing is to have a well-diversified portfolio. So I'm not saying run out and buy gold and hot because the market's going to be hot, but more to think strategically about what is the right mix of assets to own, whether you are an individual or a central bank or a country or a sovereign wealth fund.
Ray, you mentioned capital war. Do you believe that we are on the cusp of a capital war? So much of the market focus right now is on the president's trade and tariff agenda. We often talk about the implications of the trade war that we see unfolding. What about a capital war?
We are on the brink. That means not in, but it means we are quite close to, and it would be very easy to go over the brink into a capital war, and because there are mutual fears. For example, if you were to take the conflict even over Greenland related to Europeans and the United States, there could be a fear that European holders of U.S. denominated assets could have, that they could be sanctioned in a sense. They might have a fear in one way or another, and there could be a reciprocal fear on the part of the United States that it could be not get the capital or not get the buy, but also the willingness to use it as a leverage. You know, we're seeing capital controls and capital war is taking place all over the world today, and who will experience that is questionable. So we are on the brink. That doesn't mean we are in or close, but it means that it's a logical concern. One who studies history understands that, for example, foreign exchange controls, capital controls, are normal. They're the normal things to happen in environments like that. And so naturally, in preparation for that, or to protect oneself against that happening, countries, sovereign wealth funds, central banks, and individuals are making those kinds of provisions.
네, 방금 보신 영상은 전설적인 투자자 레이 달리오의 인터뷰 영상이었습니다. 그는 두바이에서 열린 세계 정부 정상회의에서 자산 전쟁이 곧 임박했다는 경고를 했는데요. 금 투자에 대한 인사이트도 내놓은 만큼 꼭 투자에 참고해 보시면 좋겠습니다.